Hi friends, welcome back to the Weekly Tweek, a show that finally got some better audio equipment the same week I lost my voice. This week, some devastating news. Truly heartbreaking. I could feel the whole country, nay, the whole world sink as this news came to light. The first suspects in the Louvre heist were arrested by French police. No. The Louvre heist was the last thing that gave this universe any whimsy. We all hung the witches, the dinosaurs blew up, and no one came to Stephen Hawking's time travel party. And a ragtag team pulling off a once-in-a-lifetime heist to steal European royal jewels and fleeing the country to live on a beach, sipping drinks from coconuts while gazing into the sunset, reminiscing on the good old days was exactly what the world needed right now. But no, the French police had to go and ruin it. Let's take a look at who is in charge of this investigation. Oh, okay, never mind. My whimsy is back. Just based on this man's outfit alone, I know he has a giant magnifying glass in one of his many pockets. And I can't wait for one of the suspects to break out of prison, only for the detective to track them down again atop a skyscraper below a starry night. They lock eyes, no words exchanged, but they know. They were made for each other. The robber escapes, or does the detective let them go? Speaking of letting things go, Donald Trump, seen here learning where babies come from, has torn down the East Wing of the White House. The entirety of the East Wing will be modernized as the massive 90,000 square foot ballroom is built. Just to put a 90,000 square foot ballroom into perspective, before the demolition, the White House was only 55,000 square feet. Rumor has it, President Trump just needed an open space to dance his feelings out. And as for a possible name for the ballroom, Trump demurred and told reporters he wouldn't get into that at this stage. But possible names include the Big Beautiful Ballroom, Ballroom Civil Blitz, and a room to keep the balls of Congress. Someone who surprisingly has all of their balls, Canada, released an ad this week calling attention to the tariff war Trump is still fighting.
The way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. America's jobs and growth are at stake.
As a result, President Trump has raised the tariffs on Canadian imports by 10%. This could affect the cost of goods received from Canada, including electricity, trucks, lumber, and Chris McLean from Total Drama Island. Canada, on behalf of most U.S. citizens, we're sorry. Now, let's all take a breath and find a semblance of joy in the midst of the current global situation, since green sea turtles are no longer endangered. The population increased around 28% compared to the 1970s and 80s levels. That is gnarly, dude. Now back to not so gnarly news, or gnarly, but with a negative connotation. A Category 5 hurricane with 165 miles per hour winds is expected to hit Jamaica sometime Tuesday, October 28th, today, for us here filming. Hurricane Melissa will also be the only Category 5 hurricane to have ever hit Jamaica in recorded history, leading to immediate evacuations. So before we make any distasteful jokes, because we don't know how this is going to end up, especially since the video is currently being edited, while every little thing is not going to be all right, we're going to move on to our next segment and talk about another place in the world. A place known for alpacas, ancient Incan ruins, and now being the site of yet another Gen Z-led protest causing real political change. Welcome back to It's a Big World After All, Perusual. Last Tuesday, Peru's capital, Lima, went into a 30-day state of emergency following the swearing in of an interim president, Jose Harry. Harry is the 8th president of Peru in the last decade, and as you may assume, having 8 presidents in a decade is a sign and cause of an unstable government. Before Harry, Peru had Dina Boluarte, who was one of the most hated leaders in the world. An overwhelming majority of lawmakers from across the political spectrum approved her ousting on grounds of permanent moral incapacity. Permanent moral incapacity. Dina Boluarte has been dubbed on a federal level to be too cold-hearted and irreparably just an awful person. The Grinch is considered more morally aligned than her. And are you wondering why this woman that you've never heard of has warranted a disapproval rating of 93%? It's a really good list. In 2023, Bellarte completely abandoned her duties without telling anyone, even Congress, for 2 weeks while she recovered from a nose job. She also allegedly accepted luxury watches as bribes and had her home raided during an incident dubbed Rolexgate in 2024. Dozens of watches were uncovered and none had receipts or proof of purchase. So no one knows who gave her the watches or what for, since the entire case was dismissed. But ultimately, the last straw that got President Dina Bellarte impeached on October 10th were these skyrocketing crime rates. Peru's homicide rate closed out 2024 with a 35.9% increase, with a spike in deaths during the end of Bellarte's reign due to the sheer amount of protests the citizens of Peru held in an effort to get her impeached. So, yay! Dina Bellarte and her new nose is gone. Now Peru has Jose Hari, who was previously the president of Congress, and Hari swore in Ernesto Alvarez Miranda, an associate justice of Peru's constitutional court, as prime minister. Side note, I didn't know what an associate justice of a constitutional court was, so neither do you probably, so I'm going to try and describe that for no other reason than I wanted to know, and so now you will know. An associate justice is a judge on a judicial panel that isn't in charge. All of our Supreme Court justices are associate justices, except for John G. Roberts, because he's the Chief Justice. He's also the seemingly normal guy in the beginning of every murder mystery crime drama. Peru's constitutional court serves the same purpose as our Supreme Court, to hold funny-looking hammers and sweep things under rugs. But back to Ernesto Alvarez Miranda and Jose Hari. They're not doing great. Peruvian protesters are still at it, and arguably for good reason. You see, the whole reason they started these protests was because of the crime rates. And other reasons, but that was the big one. So, yay, they got rid of Corella DeVille, but they just replaced her with Jasper and Horace. You see, Hari is not only the main suspect in a certain case of assaulting a woman, but protesters demanded Hari resign and repeal the laws they say benefit criminal groups. These laws include the 2025 amnesty laws, which grants amnesty to certain military groups and those over 70, despite their conviction, and the 2024 statute of limitations law for war crimes, and a law that restricts the use of plea deals, an integral part of getting more information from criminals to find the root cause of the crimes. Peru's government literally appointed crime's best friend to replace crime's bougiest friend. And for Miranda, well, he claimed that Peru's Gen Z is a gang that wants to take democracy by storm and does not represent the youth who study and work. Which is a wild choice of person to pick to try and dilute the protests, since just like Nepal, Gen Z is leading the protests. In Peru, the unemployment rate for Gen Z citizens is almost double that of the national average. The majority of their homicides are of Gen Zers. It's not that they want a young person in office. They just want someone that will listen to the young generations, just as much as they listen to the older ones. Someone that will prioritize the common citizen of Peru and not just the crime lords with Rolex watches. And, as always in Gen Z fashion, for many, the one-piece flag symbolizes unity against corrupt regimes. Good luck, Peru. We're on your side. Next, we take to the streets ourselves, but not in protest, in a cape and fangs.
Hi friends, welcome to the Weekly Tweek. We're on the street and we're going to ask people about political things because voting day is coming up on November 4th. Don't forget. I am a vampire. I'm here to suck your rights away. Look at this lovely purse. It says Make America Suck Again. It's funny because I'm a vampire. I don't know where we are, but we're going to talk to people. Do you want to be interviewed for a political talk show? That's all right. Are you caught up in the political mayoral race of New York City?
Mayoral race. Yeah, I love Mamdani.
Mamdani, I love it. And do you know the names of the other two people running?
It's Cuomo and it's some other guy who doesn't have a chance.
Exactly.
I'll put my bucks on Zoran. Am I saying it right? Zoran? Am I saying it?
Zoran Mamdani. I think Mamdani.
Yeah. Don't cancel me for I'm trying to say it right. That's my boy. You know who I'm talking about.
Do you know the 3 main front runners for mayor in New York City?
Oh gosh. Adams dropped out, right? So he doesn't count?
Yeah.
I only know Mamdani and the former governor.
All right. And are we voting in the mayoral race this year? Who are we voting for? Mamdani. Who are you voting for in this mayoral race?
Mamdani.
Mamdani, yes! Here we go! Are you Republican or Democrat? Oh, you're just a baby. I don't think you're old enough to vote. Sliwa, Cuomo, and Mamdani were all in a race, but they weren't allowed to wear shoes. Who would win?
I'm gonna say for wow factor, Cuomo.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hot take.
Hot
He
take.
has calves. I'm saying.
He's got calves.
He's got good calves, I feel it. If some other guy, Cuomo and Mamdani, all ordered pizza, who ordered pizza with pineapple on it?
I would personally say neither. Is that crazy?
That was crazy. So between Mamdani and the former governor, who would win in a fight if the only weapon they're allowed to use is a butter knife?
Gotta go with the young guy.
Gotta go with the young guy. You heard it here, folks.
Yeah.
Young guys win when it comes to butter knives. So far, based off of everyone we've talked to, everyone hates being on camera. But we're gonna keep persevering. Would you like to be on camera, sir?
Yes.
Yeah? Camera? Get over here. Exactly. We are here to interview actual New Yorkers about the New York subway system, prices, turnstiles, attitude, cleanliness, whatever else comes up. What are your thoughts on the price of the MTA tickets?
Like $2.90. I could get like a good meal, like back and forth. $2.90, like a $6 sandwich is way better than like a $2.90 like back and forth from work.
That's what I'm saying. When it comes to the price of a ticket, how often are we actually paying that? Every day. Every day? We're not hopping? We're not ducking? The turnstiles, do we hop them?
Only in important moments.
And what's an important moment?
I'm rushing.
Have you ever been stopped by the police?
3 times.
3 times, and
$50 ticket each time.
was it worth it?
I just don't really care. But like, yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah, silence the media. Yeah. What did we learn today? Well, New Yorkers don't like being on camera, despite what everyone says. Also, everyone thinks Mamdani's gonna win. Who knows? Maybe he will. Maybe the other guy will. And also, voting's coming up. And if you don't want to make America suck again, put in your opinion in a little box. It only takes, hopefully, like 2 minutes. And then you get a little sticker. I like stickers. So remember to vote, friends. Thank you, and have a great night.